All right, it's time to know the law. And do we have some helpful information just for you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Tommy Adler from Atkins and Markoff Law Firm. He's joining us this morning to talk about criminal records, expungements.
Yes, this is
Welcome.
big.
Now just give us all the info. What's an expungement?
What is an expungement?
Okay, so an expungement is if you have either an arrest record or a criminal court record. There's a couple different kinds of expungement under Oklahoma law whereby you can seal those records from the ability for the public or law enforcement to access those records.
So it's not actually doing away with the charge necessarily. It's just making sure that no one can see it?
Correct.
Kind of?
So
okay.
Based on the outcome of your case, you may or may not be eligible. There are types of sentences that don't count as convictions where the carrot at the end of the sentence, usually probation, is that you can have your case dismissed and then later expunged. And so it's a way to handle usually first-time offenders, people with less serious cases, and to give them an opportunity to eventually move past poor decision, something that got them into the criminal court system.
And that was going to be my question as far as like misdemeanors compared to felonies. Is it easier to get a misdemeanor expunged compared to a felony?
Typically, there is more access to misdemeanor expungement than there is to felony expungement, but again, it's almost always driven by the outcome of the case.
So the difficulty of whether or not you're going to get it is, again, by the outcome.
Right. That's why you want to make sure that you handle it in the best way possible.
Yes.
And you know, we expunge, 100 felonies a year for people. We handle a ton of this kind of work. We get as many calls about this as we do about active pending cases. All of our active pending cases we're trying to resolve in a way that ultimately leads to the ability of the client to move past this. We represent a lot of great people that find themselves in a lot of really challenging circumstances, and so getting them to a point where they can move past something like that is always the goal of the representation.
How tough is it to get a job these days without this expungement?
Yeah, and that's why we get so many calls about this. Once somebody's become part of the criminal justice system as a defendant, that is a public record. Their arrest is public. Their court records are public. With the expansion of information technology, I mean, Google, we have people that say you can't Google my name without it pulling up 6 things about my one, indiscretion. And so,
or news articles or, whatnot.
it becomes very, very challenging. And so the goal of the expungement laws, the legislature in Oklahoma, there is a real genuine spirit of reform for criminal justice in Oklahoma. I think Governor Fallon's doing a great job with that. The House and the legislature are doing a great job, and they're looking to actually expand expungement laws to make them more inclusive. You want people in Oklahoma to be able to move past a poor decision if they've changed their life and are moving forward. You want them to be able to be a part of a workforce, to be tax-paying citizens. I mean, it doesn't do society any good to marginalize people based on their worst day.
Now, I understand that expungements are basically from a state-to-state basis.
Absolutely. So Oklahoma expungement laws deal with crimes and arrests that happen within the state of Oklahoma. If you just happen to be living here, you would need an expungement from whatever the state of conviction or the state of arrest was. So Oklahoma expungement laws deal with arrests and crimes that happened within the state of Oklahoma.
So if you happen to kind of commit any sort of crime in another state and you move here, be aware that you're going to want to contact someone in that state, right? To help you then.
Unless you commit a crime here.
Right, and
then we're going to be calling you.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we have all the information you need to know right here on your screen. It's Tommy Adler. He's the head of criminal defense here at Atkins and Markoff. They're located at 9211 Lake Hefner Parkway, Suite 104. The number is right there on your screen, 405-607-8757, atkinsandmarkoff.com. Now, Tommy, should they call and ask for you specifically if they're interested in expungements?
Absolutely, yeah. I take all my own phone calls. I make all my own appointments.
Call them. Tommy
Anybody that
Adler.
has questions, I'm happy to answer them.
He's your guy. He can help you kind of get back on your feet and back in the workforce. It's important.
And you're on Facebook and Twitter, so can we tweet you too? Questions?
Good tweet at him.
We've got somebody that'll handle that.
Someone will handle the Twitter. It might not be Tommy, but it's okay. Thank you so much for being here. Really
proud
appreciate
to be
it.
here. Thank
Great
you.
information.